Senator Cornyn. I'm going to be brief, and I'm especially grateful to be part of this team. Senator Cornyn and I have been teaming up on this issue for years now. We're so lucky to have Senator Klobuchar, who was a terrific prosecutor for some time before she came to the Senate, so she's intimately familiar with these issues. And our two House colleagues, Congressman Nolan, Congressman Poe, both allow us to have a bipartisan, bicameral, effort. It'd be cruel and unusual punishment to give you a big speech, and so I'm going to be very brief and give you my sense of where we are in terms of the fight against sex trafficking. As I mentioned, Senator Cornyn and I have for years been looking at various ways to bolster the fight against trafficking, and it's always come down repeatedly, time after time, how do you find the dollars in a very strapped budget in order to get the resources for the essential work that we need in our communities. So in communities all across the country, we want to make sure that there's help for shelters. We want to make sure there's help for law enforcement. We want to make sure there's help for counseling. We want to make sure there's help for health care. The question is, how do you pay for the services? What we discovered in this kind of multi-year odyssey looking at the various aspects of this is increasingly we are finding very sophisticated criminals attracted to this field. People with substantial assets, people with significant amounts of funds, and they're attracted to this field because to a great extent sex trafficking provides a fair degree of anonymity that you didn't have when you look to move young women online, that you didn't have if you were selling drugs and things of this nature. So big money is now attracted to all this. And what the five of us are proposing is, in effect, saying that the criminals' ill-gotten gains, in addition to fines on those who purchase children for sex, would be used to support victims, number one, and also provide a real financial deterrent to those who might be thinking of getting into this reprehensible enterprise because they think this is easy money. And that is what I have heard continually from prosecutors and law enforcement people in the past, is that this field has been a magnet for criminals because of the opportunity to make big and easy money. So the five of us are going to team up to try to establish another deterrent, number one, and number two, to deal with the challenge we found over the years, which is to come up with a significant source of funds in order to deal with it. Last point I'll make is, obviously, child sex trafficking in America requires that you have all hands on deck: law enforcement people, health care providers, social workers, foster parents, judges, teachers, and neighbors. The point of this legislation is to bolster the fight to ensure that the federal government is a better partner working with local communities to deal with this. So thank you to John and Senator Klobuchar, Senator Poe, Senator Nolan, and Congresswoman Maloney. So I've got two senators, three Congress people. I'm running with the right crowd.
Okay.